This is from September 7th, 2014. A little impromptu ride that we had, and well, we always like to shoot pictures. We always like to immortalize everybody on the ride if we possibly can. Let me get focused in here. And the nice thing about being on Perkins or riding through the park is there's never 2 days that are exactly the same. Hey, and here's Joe with the MV Augusta helmet, the Ago helmet, Chuck's KTM, and we're all looking forward to seeing that 390 KTM. Everybody I know is monitoring the website. Now, speaking of KTM, and I thought this was pretty cool. One of our friends has an RC8. He's had it for a while. In fact, a couple of times last year there were 2 RC8s up there, a white one and a black one. And I always thought this was a pretty cool bike. You know, if you're into this type of bike, this really has some unusual styling. I love the orange wheels, among other things. And now, as we go through this, I'm gonna explain what I'm thinking. Maybe our friends will be offended by this. I don't know. Well, they're offended anyway. And people that get offended, I mean, they should just maybe get less offended. I don't know. What I always try to do is to get a pretty good slice of all the people that are up there. This is on a Sunday, of course. The most crowded day, Saturday less. Friday, you can have a track day in the park. Usually there's very few people there. Try to get, for a lot of reasons, one of which is pretty simple. I like to look at pictures over the winter when I'm going to be painting motorcycles to get some ideas for paint jobs, something that might or might not look good. And if you see it already laid out, well, you know, you can't help but think, hey, that might look good on my bike, or that piece of carbon fiber, or that type of wheel treatment. And in the case of the winter coming up, since we're going to be doing 2 track bikes, hopefully with matching paint jobs, one of the things we wanted to try to do is get as many ideas as we possibly could for these. And so it's always good in my case, and then once I get home I put it on a computer, put it out on YouTube, and it's there forever. And then we can kind of always reference it, or if somebody's fishing for an idea for their own bike, I can forward some of this, or they can just look through YouTube and pick out the ones you want. Now again, today there were many bikes that I hadn't seen before, and some really unusual ones. But again, if you have it all on some kind of a camera, some kind of or your fancy phone, you can always look back at it. Now, what was cool on the way up here, actually we were waiting at the chopper place, and this guy and another one, 2 of them went by really honking and really you know, like they were into it. And maybe, you know, they were slowing down, of course, because they're getting into that area of Sloatsburg where it's 35 miles an hour. But we did see a couple of cops along the way, and every one we saw had somebody pulled over. So, I don't know. Again, you know, it could be some kind of impromptu crackdown going on. I don't know. You never really do know. But again, a lot of the people we see every week, a lot of the people we see once a month, a lot of the people are new friends. And we always like to try to be as friendly as possible, and always, if they're interested, they can come share our YouTube. Luciano, of course, and of course next week we'll be going to Tim's wedding. Tim is getting married next Saturday. So we probably won't be spending a lot of time on a motorcycle. We'll be up there partying along. Now in our case today, the park filled up so quick we didn't get our usual parking spot where we like to park. And luckily though, and this is one of the fellows we really do love his company. He's a great guy, a load of fun. We call him Willie Nelson affectionately. And I think his beard goes down to the floor, but I don't know if he's I don't know, but he's a heck of a guy to hang out with. He loves his motorcycles, and there's always somebody over by my GS looking to steal a reflector or some souvenir or let air out of the tires or whatever. You never know. You never can tell. A bike that we've seen before, but we talked to the guy for a while. This was pretty funny story. He got the bike for free, and through hook or crook, who knows how, and he's done a minimum work on it. It had, I think, 8,000 miles, and it's a driver, and it's really in nice shape. It could be, you know, a little bit fancier, maybe some paint touch-ups or something, but basically he's got a really cool collectible turbo 650, and these were, if I remember right, they only made them for 2 or 3 years, so it's kind of a neat bike. You don't see a lot of them. And I try to get it from a couple of angles. Again, back in this era when all the Japanese manufacturers at one point in time had a turbo or something like a turbo, and Suzuki had the R5 and the rotary, and all these oddball things used to come out, but in the end what won out was 4-cylinder bikes. And a nice VMAX, a nice, this I think was, I forget what year he said, but it's one of the older ones. Dave Saber. Nice color paint on a Ninja. And again, my favorite here. I really like this bike. I don't know why I like it. It's an expensive bike, but I like it. I tend to usually like bikes that are less expensive. But hey, dreaming is free. Now, what I always look for, whenever I look at the Harleys and the various cruisers, the paint. Some of the paint on these, and I think a lot of them come from the factory with this really nice paint. Now, these guys were lining up for some kind of an impromptu, I don't know what they were doing, throwing watermelons at each other or something, but it always looks funny to me when they have the camera mounted on the roof, and you can see both of them do. But we saw them go by, and then lo and behold, about 20 more went by right after them. So maybe they were the leaders of the group or the leaders of the pack or whatever they were. Who knows? We're never quite sure. And then there was a black one, and then there was a blue one, and then there was a red one, and I was thinking, you know, they must give these things away. And then one of the people sitting there next to me, because I'm not a car guy, said, no, those things are a fortune. Oh my God. And I thought they were like Miatas or something. Nope, not really. Kind of an expensive car, and supposedly from what the group opinion was, they're a high maintenance car too. And then the blue one, like I said, they just kept coming. There was a string of them. Yellow ones, red ones, and what they did, they all lined up here. They had a line a quarter of a mile long of Lotuses. So, and there was some other exotic or semi-exotic cars. And I always try to shoot the cars for my friends, John Cafaro for one, John Pothier, another one that I know they like to see some cars on the videos once in a while. A really nice Ninja here. One of the modern Daviels with some, looks like it's loaded up with accessories here. This is the picture of the month club here. Now, the reason I said this, if you check this out, this is really funny. It's the RC8 that I lust for. Look at the helmet. Now, the helmet is all orange. It's totally orange. Now, what I said, and I hope the guy is not offended, I said what you ought to do is on the back of the helmet get some black tape and make like eyes, nose, and a mouth like a pumpkin. And, you know, for Halloween, I mean, hey, think of the money you could save on a costume. You could just put the helmet on and drive around scaring people and stuff. But maybe he didn't think it was funny. I don't know. He gave me the finger on the way out, so. Anyway, looking at paint. This was kind of neat paint, and I know Glenn has been looking at paint. I'm looking at paint, but it was purple and it turned blue in the sun. You know, these really reflective, I call them Bob Brookins colors, Dave Midgley colors. Things that really are, this is expensive and exotic. And of course, Pokey's bike. Try to include everybody. Joe's bike. Another one of our friends that we had a great day with. And Lauren, he gave me a picture that I'm supposed to forward to you, but I got home and it's not on my computer. I think he sent it from his computer. But anyway, he was talking to Lauren and he had a picture of Lauren sitting on that Ducati. And another old Suzuki. Okay, this one's for you, Lauren. Check this out. This is your fan club here. Anyway. So this is the first one I've seen in real life that I could, you know, get up close and personal, and it's got all the fringe. And actually there were two of them. They're not the same bike, but they're both New Indians, of course. And I was looking at some of the workmanship on the motor, the chrome. I mean, this is really a beautiful motorcycle. Very nostalgic, of course. And it's got the Indian up on a... this actually would look good on a helmet. Probably put it on the top of a helmet. And especially if you could light it up or something. Now, one of the guys, and I don't know the guys personally, but we were all looking at the chrome, and it's made to look like an old flathead. But it isn't a flathead. In this case, he had LEDs all around the motor. So imagine at night this all lights up. It looked pretty cool. And I know Karen likes this the Lone Ranger look with the fringes. And anyway, we were all looking at his bike, checking it out, looking at various things about it. The paint was beautiful. The chrome, absolutely flawless. Had a great sound. I love the leather seat. Oh my God, I love that leather. Now I talk about something that seat has to be. I imagine if you need to replace that seat, it's a few dollars. I'll just take a wild guess. And we were looking at these things hanging off the handlebars. Now I was thinking, there's a cool idea for somebody to, you know, we were pretending, you know, like these are going to blow up and hit you in the face or whatever. But I was thinking you could take one of those combs. And at the end of the day, you just comb out your fringes. Now, I didn't get a picture of. There was a guy, not with these people, that came up with a jacket with fringes that had a million fringes on it. So, I guess they're all on the fringes of motorcycling. So, the dashboard. Indian motorcycles. Now, believe it or not, my father, who was a BMW aficionado, he loved Indians too. He just, when it came time to write a check, he always bought a BMW. I'm not sure why. Anyway, they were really nice. I was looking at this. This would be great for, like, if you want to sweep your sidewalk or something as you drive by. These things would do a nice job of sweeping. And they had a little mustache under the fender here, a little mustache. When you look closely, it was pretty cool. Now, what was terrible here is they had parked near my bike, and everybody was looking, you know, at trying to see if my bike had more fringe on it. And then the fringe award went to the Indians, and I didn't get any award today. I got nothing. And then we gave out the Grizzo Award to Joe for the biggest milk crate underneath a motor. And then we had a smiling contest. We wanted to see who could smile, and a smile that would radiate warmth and friendship. Well, Pokey won. Yeah, another guy with various guys came in on Ducatis that we had never met before. And then the high point of the day. This really made my day. Again, I had been to as we go overboard here, I had been to Bike Week, and I saw ones even wilder than this, but this one was pretty wild. And we were looking at it, and I was thinking, you know, first thing you notice is no front brake. Well, I don't know. And I noticed he had an inspection sticker. And I was wondering, in the back here, you probably could put two people. So I was looking at this and adding up what this might weigh and how much it might. And I'm thinking, wow, that's a lot of weight to put on one little. But apparently it works. I don't know. I'm not an engineer, so. Anyway, everybody was looking at various features. He's got spider webs and skulls, and not sure what that was. Maybe that was the helmet he was wearing. But I'd seen so many of these down at Bike Week in '09. The switches were cool. He had these light up switches for, I guess this is to kick in the turbos and the afterburners and everything. And of course had a Volkswagen engine, but man, maybe it's a Porsche. I don't know, because I don't know the difference. And kind of a woody, saddlebaggy. Or maybe that's where he kept his, you know, laundry or something up there. I don't know. Very cool bike though. And Jerry came flying in, did a big wheelie, almost went over the cliff. But that bike did draw a lot of attention. No doubt about it. You have something like that, people stop and look at it, no doubt. The shifter came out the side of the bike. I thought that was, well, where do you put the shifter if you're, you know, you gotta, every once in a while, the answer is obvious, that's why it's there. And of course the whole thing with all of this is always to try to include everybody. And one of our friends here, this is a pretty cool thing. This is a real exhaust pipe. This is a fake. It's a luggage container or someplace to hide bananas or drugs or something. And it was silver. So because he's riding a bike, this pipe got black and this one was silver. We were following him one day. He passed us irreverently on 106, I might add, giving us one of those ha ha ha, I'm faster than you things. But then we caught him up on the mountain and we said, you know, that looks kind of screwy with one silver and one black. So I noticed today he took some barbecue paint or something. So, but if you're going to become a drug dealer, this is the way to do it. You put it inside the fake pipe and, you know, whatever. And the guy was leaving, so we wanted to hear it go, but I didn't get the camera into the mode where I could shoot video in time. But he just pulled out of there, and apparently the thing is safe to ride, but it looked pretty scary. And some of the ones at Bike Week looked even worse. But maybe they have that all figured out, that they are safe. I don't know. Then again, Pokey was working on his smile, but again, I don't know about that smile, Pokey. I think we got to keep working on it. Anyway, it was a great day, and for anybody that missed it, I hope this just helped you live the adventure.